The grove sported some rather interesting murals, I must say. They just reminded me of something half forgotten. It seemed to depict Lady Shah's warriors in combat. I hadn't known they were active in these parts. You know me. I'm not usually one to elaborate if I can avoid it. They looked like dark justiciars, an elite force among Lady Shah's ranks. Only the very finest proved themselves worthy of the title. What right-minded servant of Lady Shah wouldn't? But it's a distant dream. The dark justiciars have been silent for years. Curious to see them depicted in such a place. Perhaps there's more to it. But there's nothing to be done about it just now. Everything, potentially. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate, hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. But for this, I hope my time will yet come.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you. You only have a matter of days to live. Don't dally, my friend.
That wall's barely holding together.
You don't have permission to be here. you're about to be ejected. You've been granted free passage. What you do with that privilege is up to you.
Something over there. That might be worth a look. Interlocking circles with moons and stars. This must be the seal mentioned in that journal.
Well then, shall we?
This goes very far down. We'll have to go in to see the bottom.
Do we have to spend so long poking about down here? I'd much rather be outside, with the sun on my skin.
You've only just come to tolerate sun and you're already nostalgic. If you're going to complain the whole way, by all means, return topside. You could use the color.
Get back.
Careful. Not everyone looks this good dead.
Beautiful. Lethal. The Underdark is everything I thought it'd be.
And this environ seems worthy of a Githyanki warrior's estimation.
Ah, to be deemed worthy by the great Lae'zel of Kresh Kalir.
Continue as you have, Karlach, and you will achieve the same.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Just when I was getting used to the sky again.
Fear not, Karlak. Sun, moon, and stars will still be there, waiting for us.
Meanwhile, this place is pretty spectacular, isn't it?
No book or painting could ever do its strange beauty justice. But perhaps our stories might, when we return to the surface.
What were they doing here?
Dust on my tongue. I offer to parley, and he brings a spectator. Twit. Quite ruined my ambush. Now, you are? We simply haven't time for all of my titles. I am Dawn, third son of House Bartol, first rank evoker, and initiate of Graven Hollows. Oh. Oh, no, no, my dear dark gods below, no!
A memory shard. A container onto which brief mental impressions are projected and stored for years at a time.
Far, far longer than I realized. Then my enemies have already found the forge. Which bastard stole my glory? Zargrim? Filro? The adamantine forge? If it had been found, the name would ring throughout the Underdark. Unless... Huh. Ha! The fools must have turned back, or, better yet, died in the search. Good. If they had just surrendered their research to me, we might have found the forge together. But no. They hoarded their knowledge, left each of us clinging to scraps. I had the good sense to lock mine away in the shard. And now I can claim the forge alone. They knew of the forge's defenses, its operation, true enough. But I know its location. The rest I can figure out with time. Now I am the only one searching. Or almost the only one. You proved your power in freeing me, but I need no more rivals. Try to take this as a compliment, yes?
crystal shines only faintly. A memory shard, the wizard had called it. The crystal's glow swells, drawing you into its depths. You are transported somewhere deep, loud, and hot as the hells themselves. Within the Underdark's bowels, beyond an ancient stronghold, hovers a giant hammer, waiting to fall. An echoing clang, and you're back to yourself, left only with a firm sense of a place, a grand forge. The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Dawn, House, Bottle, Graven Hollow, Scholar, Sargrim, Argument, Summoned Spectator. He wanted Memory Shard. Menso Baranson.
I've rarely had to venture this far below the surface. Rare is the underbeast that takes to the sun.
The infamous Underdark. Don't worry of the dangers you can see. Worry of the dangers you can't.
Can you believe this is my first time in the Underdark? The world is so big!
The Underdark. As if we didn't face enough dangers back up on the surface.
The Underdark has a certain menacing beauty to it. Though I'll be happier admiring it from a safe distance.
You know, for all the time I've spent lurking in the shadows, I've never ventured into the Underdark before. Hardly a luxurious setting, but it definitely has its upsides for a vampire. Or its undersides, because it's... well, you know what I mean.
Say about the Underdark. It's beautiful down here.
I'm used to a crypt's gloom. This is something else.
It's been a long day. I'll need to rest soon. Loth sigils on every box. If this place wasn't already abandoned, I'd set it ablaze.
Careful, Lae'zel. It's dark around here. Would be a terrible shame to lose you forever.
Yes. Do keep your wits, Shadowheart. Should a dagger suddenly slice your neck, we may never know who's to blame.
Our blood to fill your oceans. O blessed Boal. Our bones to build your temple in the deep.
A wave of pure devotion washes over you. And with every surge, you feel a presence grow in response.
Word, priest. Promises. Your god wants proof. Wants blood.
These beings are Kuatoa, former Mind Flayer slaves that manifest their gods through sheer belief.
You, our Lord of Murder, demands sacrifice. You will be an offering for the great god Boal.
This presence. The magic is not divine, but fey. And it is murderous.
Well, priest. Boal wants a sacrifice. Boal wants blood. Little, I'm a god, and I'm gonna rip you, tear you, wear you for a hat.
In the outburst of emotion, you feel the divine presence falter, then revert to its basic, cruel nature.
Bollocks! Don't do anything hasty now. The fish folk got plenty of power. We can share. Blessed Boal. What? Shut it, you! I'm talking to my chosen. Chosen got power. You want power, don't you? Kiss my ass. I'm the Lord of Murder. I'll show you why. You've slain the pretender. We knew in our hearts the god Boal was false. But you, we see you. We know you by your true name, Maglumpa.
If they ask for a sacrifice, I'd suggest virgins. Young and hot-blooded.
A great deity needs a great name. Looks like you're off to a good start.
Oh, hells. Why not? All hail Maclumpa!
A god to the fishes. A dream come true, is it?
Praise Marklumpa!
If you're expecting me to drop to my knees before you, forget it.
What is to be your first commandment, O great god? We will spread word of Maglumpa. Your glory will sing from 10,000 throats.
That might be worth a look. What's that?
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
mushrooms growing in a perfectly neat circle. Curious.
Half this drow's body's been crushed. Must have fallen from pretty high up.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
House, Vandry, Far Scout, searching. Quick path to surface. Through backpack to light. Fell. Mushrooms. Disappear. Guessed wrong. Worked alone. Better that way.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. Another illusion. Is anything real down here? Scorched ground. Better watch out.
The wizard's tower is his sanctum. Private place for research and respite. But as this wizard's not home, I say we take a peek.
Seems like the owner was quite the literary type. Looks like some kind of magical contraption. Now to get it to work.
I don't like these flowers. They're bad.
A chill runs through you. Your magic, the fire that burns within, is fading. Your magic erupts, violent and powerful, but is snuffed out by the Susa flower, vanishing like embers in the wind.
You look drained, and I know it wasn't me. Is the plant bothering you? might I suggest getting it back? I don't travel with you for your personality, you know. Don't flatter yourself. Let's finish up here quickly. The sooner we can get your magic back, the safer we'll be. Until then, try not to die.
It's the same for me. We're sitting ducks among Sousa flowers, you and I. Our backs are very much prone to stabbing in this environment, so by all means, let's.
Gone. But you're a sorcerer. Isn't magic you? Until then, let me lead the way. Anything pops out from under a mushroom, and I'll make sure it doesn't grab my poor, powerless pal.
Chin up. I'll wager they'll come back as soon as we move away from here. Of course I am. You're not going to be undone by a flower, are you?
Then I shall make up for your shortcomings, as I have all along. Sarcasm. Magnificent. Now come and be heedful. The shadows are watching.
From what I've seen, your talents extend well beyond magic. Trust me, you'll be fine. Mind flayers bury tadpoles in our brains, and then we crash to the ground on the banks of the Chionthar. From this angle, there's nothing you can't endure.
That's curious.
That's curious. That chest. I can feel its magic. Such a strange disc. Are these Githyanki markings? Lae'zel might know.
Disc appears in your mind's eye. Lae'zel sees it too and considers the vision.
Tirsu markings. Ancient. I recognize them, but I can't make sense. No. Wait. The texts are enciphered, but I've solved the pattern. It's a story. About Orpheus.
Your head buzzes in concert with Lae'zel's, but it hardly matters. Even without the connection, you'd recognize her discomfort.
Githyanki writing. Every word a wheel, every letter a spoke. The most powerful texts are engraved in slate. Some so ancient, only the most erudite Gish can read them. A traitor. A dead one. This text is heresy. I can hardly bear to read it, let alone speak it. Very well. I will read it to you. The Prince of the Comet, Part 1. So it was that we were free from Geich shackles and turned our blades on each other. The heavens were shattered, and one great empire was divided in two. Gith traveled to the Hells to broker help for her people, her cause. Vlaakith would have you believe Mother Gith proclaimed her our queen. Lies. Gith made no such proclamation. Vlaakith seized the empire against the Mother's wishes. But Gith had nurtured a son, Orpheus, Prince of the Comet, the true heir. He knew Vlaakith's treachery. Orpheus rallied Gith's honor guard and declared the throne for himself. The War of the Comet had begun. Disregard this drivel. Gith declared Vlaakith queen of the Empire, and her own son defied her. Orpheus would have ceded control to the Geich. She did nothing of the sort. Thank your good fortunes I'm a tolerant woman, or I'd have sliced off a few toes for suggesting it.
Strange place for a button, especially one that doesn't work.
sounds to damp a dark oppression break. Is it the foe? Or foul, contemptuous heel?
You know these words. They are from the opening stanza of a play you found in this very tower.
Out of love for me, not love for blood and steel. Command as if you could, my lord, my liege.
Don't get me wrong. I love poetry as much as an ex-wizard, but using it to command an automaton seems a bit self-indulgent to me.
If you do not know the deepest secret show, reveal the truth. Do what you wish to see.
That might be worth a look.
What did that do? Something over there.
dog holds a well-chewed ball in his mouth.
All right. It's only fair that you enjoy it too. But if you feel like throwing it, I wouldn't mind that at all.
You carry a Githyanki relic. I will have an explanation. Or your head.
Walk away. Now. I won't warn you again.
That artifact is an heirloom of my people. Likely she spilled Githyanki blood in order to steal it. This cannot stand.
Heirloom? Plunder from some conquered realm, more like. This artifact is the only thing keeping us from becoming slaves to our parasites. Be glad I have it. You hear that, Lae'zel? It's called common sense.
Tisk. You seek reason in dishonor.
I doubt this one's wits will be any sharper by then.
I do not wish to spill blood here. Come daylight, we will find a place to end this.
Fine. You can accept you're wrong, or we'll be rid of you permanently. Either way, I win. You had every chance to look the other way. But here we are. You chose this.
Spare me the justifications, coward.
If anyone asks, I'll say you were transforming. Don't expect to be mourned. She's a liability. It's the artifact we need, not her.
Let me up, and I'll show you.
Can I do that, Lae'zel? Can I turn my back on you?
Never. Thieves aren't afforded such luxury.
Loosen the grip on your pride for one blasted moment, won't you? We needn't be enemies. There's plenty of those to go around already.
What would you have? That we be friends?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But imagine what we might achieve if we channeled some of that hostility back at our real foes, instead of each other. They wouldn't stand a chance.
It is over where I am concerned. It is through conflict that we strengthen our bonds. Yet I do not recommend Shadowheart seek it again. The next resolution may not end in her favor.
Shah's blessings upon you. We aren't dear friends now, if that's what you're asking. But I trust we can all sleep a little more soundly in camp now. You have an interesting definition of friendly, but yes.
Oh, I really thought Shadowheart and Lae'zel might fight to the death over that artifact. A pity. It would have made for a fine night's entertainment.
Very glad Shadowheart and Lae'zel settled things without letting any blood. I would have enjoyed the spectacle, but not losing either one of those lunatics.
I'll say one thing for our troop. We're not short on drama. I'm glad Shadowheart and Lae'zel settled their differences peacefully. Eventually.
I hope that's the end of this silly quarrel. They'll have no energy for battling our enemies if Lae'zel and Shadowheart are too busy squabbling among themselves.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. You haven't been using the parasite's power. You think you don't need it. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Holsin might be able to remove your tadpole. But he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places. Yes. Holsin is correct. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Holsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites were merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. The Absolute's aims are not yet clear to me. But its progress towards domination is clear. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. You witnessed it yourself with Priestess Gut. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you. It's complicated, but I'm an adventurer. Just like you. Just like you, I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells. They need me. I have to go. The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
I had another visit from that dream figure. I take it you did too. It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me. And while we're at it, we can see how many more of these little worms we can harvest. Now, was there anything else?
I had another dream. Which, I suppose, means you did as well. Whoever's reaching out to us truly does seem opposed to the Absolute, but wants us to embrace the tadpole. Venture right into the heart of the cult. Perhaps we truly have a secret protector. Or we're walking into a trap.
Another visit from the Golden Paladin. It said we'll get the answers we need about the tadpole if we infiltrate the cult. Agreed. A bit of shiny armor doesn't impress me that much. I don't want to get taken in by a pretty offer and pay the price later on.
Another dream. Another order from that dubious visitor. It announced that we will find the answers we seek in the Absolute Cultist's lair, and offered another generous gift. A persuasive creature. It tempts us with power, expresses its admiration, its adoration. Avert your eyes whenever it appears, and do not avail yourself of this new power, no matter how alluring. You've no idea what damage it could do to us, how far into illithid madness it could drag us. Well chosen. Battles are won with swords, not mind games born of brainworms. And there will come a battle, of that I'm most certain. The one truth that fell out of the dream figure's cankered lips. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
I had another dream last night. The visitor came to me and ordered me to penetrate the heart of the very cult that's spreading the infection. It gave me a tadpole gift too, just like it did the first time it appeared. I suppose it hoped this would help. At first, I thought we should avoid these gifts no matter what advantage we gain. And yet, I can't help recall the words of my father. The best plan is the one that works. These powers could be enough to edge us towards victory. Then we'd do well to walk around it. Use these powers sparingly, if you must use them at all.
I've been dreaming of our enigmatic visitor again. She told me our purpose was to take on this cult of the Absolute, to infiltrate its ranks and bring it down from the inside. She even offered me greater powers, the result of some manipulation of the tadpole's psionic abilities. Given the magnitude of what we're up against, I see no harm in considering the benefit this offer might afford us. Could be the only way to reach this source in one piece. I suppose you're right. We still see only a part of the picture, however much our visitor claims to show the full vista of options at our disposal. I can't deny my curiosity, but as you say, no harm in delaying it, for now at least.